Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Mike DiLisio, bravissimo, sporadically bored, but never pianissimo.
Zee Garcia, voice of the people.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Tower. I'm tooth-filled Tom Vasel.
I'm officially in the afternoon, Mike DiLisio.
And I'm still balding Garcia.
But you wouldn't know it because you have a lovely chapeau.
This is my
I
second
like my
time
chapeaus, yeah.
after going to the dentist, but I have not been as drugged this time, just slightly drugged.
Yeah.
So,
Just enough to enjoy it.
no, not really.
You got to have that plausible deniability in case there's something you
the
don't
most
want
I've
to
ever
say.
enjoyed the dentist was that time where they completely knocked me out and I don't remember any part of it.
I enjoyed it too. I got to pick you up after and take you home, and you were conked out and saying nonsense.
As opposed to what normally is. Hey, folks, welcome to the top 100. We're about to go into the top third today. Part of today's list is in the
Just
top
barely,
third.
yeah. 40 to 31, right?
Anywho, we want to talk about a contest we're running. This is a contest where you can enter by emailing us at contest@dicetower.com. And the subject line, put the word Vegas. You might say, what is this contest?
What is
Vegas.
this contest, Tom?
Well, Michael,
Okay.
this is, it's $450 off of a ticket to the World Series of Board Gaming.
$450.
Off.
That is
Wow.
That is
I
more
know.
than some Kickstarter games.
Some.
All right, so I said last time I was going to tell you the games. So there's 16 ring games that you can enter.
So you and I at the end of this are going to pick if we had one of these games that we would if we had to play one in the finals, which it would be.
Okay.
All right, hang on.
All right.
Before you do that, I'm going to slide through here, and I'm going to pick which one I think you'll say.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Mike will say...
Uh-huh. Yeah, see? I'm
don't
not
know.
that easy to read.
I know what you would pick.
Is it a Catala game?
I'm going to pick this one for Mike. Okay, so you
okay.
can do Seven Wonders, Acquire, Azul, Arc Nova, Brass Birmingham, Patchwork, Castles of Burgundy, Cascadia, Dune Imperium, Gaia Project, Great Western Trail, Ra, Splendor, Terraforming Mars, Ticket to Ride, or Wingspan. All very popular games.
Yes.
All right, so Mike is going to go with Raw.
You are correct. That would be the one, if I had to play one in the finals, it would be Raw.
That is not what I had picked for you. I thought you might swing on Wingspan. I forgot Ra was there. I knew that Z is Gaia Project.
For sure. 100%.
I'm all about
Now
Gaia.
for Z, my guess was Cascadia.
Probably. That sounds good.
I considered Seven Wonders because I played that game so much, but I know that the people that are really good at Seven Wonders will
smoke
kill me
you
because
at
they
it,
know
yes.
every card, they know
No,
everyone to let you play one
Just
free.
grab randoms and you'll mess them over. They'll be like, this guy
That is true.
ruining the
That
game.
does happen sometimes in abstract games.
It
Where you
does.
like make a move so ridiculous that they can't recover from your stupidity, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So that might be a good way to do it.
I read a really good sci-fi story about these two forces that fought, and the one force could read the other force's mind, but they still fought to a standstill because it don't matter when you have guns. But this woman met a guy in the hospital, they fell in love, whatever, but he could read her mind and she couldn't, so she would play chess against him. So the only way she could play was just to be like, not thinking, just quick, make a move with no planning.
Okay.
And that way, that was the only way she could play him where he would not then know what to do.
Who wrote that?
Zee Garcia.
No, who's the writer of the
I don't know,
story?
it was in a collection of short stories.
All right, well, send it to me so I know who to avoid.
It was a good story.
It must be good because
checkmate.
I'm having a hard time even following what you're saying. I think I
Yeah.
get the general notion, but I'm getting
All right,
lost
so we're
in the
playing
weeds.
chess.
Oh,
Right,
boy.
we're
Oh,
playing
this
chess.
is not worth the time.
Let's start with the Queen's Gambit.
You can read my mind.
Sure.
So therefore, you'll know if I
Right.
make a move, you're like, he's doing that to do this. So instead, she wouldn't think about her moves at all. She would wait till it was her turn and then look at the board and quick move a piece.
Okay. Gosh, it would be hard to turn that aspect off, but I suppose.
Well, she was a terrible chess player, is what they don't tell you.
Oh, got it.
It was a good story. It wasn't even really okay.
All right.
We want to. So anyway, check out the World Series of Board Gaming.
Check it out.
We'd love to see you there. All right. I want to say thank you to some of our our Kickstarter backers. I want to say thanks to Jake Zeck. I know what comment you just read. I want to say thank you to Dominic Lorenz, to Lynn Lee, to Chuck and Jessica Henson, to Steven Sachin, to Marcy and Alan from Mexico, to Bryce Tonkin, to Nicholas Sharpenell, and to Casarina Cove 4 through 7.
She has a lot of clones. Those 3 are gamers.
All right.
Thank you for your
But is that
support,
3
everybody.
or 4? 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 4 clones. You're a math teacher. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm tired, man. I don't want to correct you.
And
every time
all
you're
your
wrong.
math knowledge was in
I'm
that too.
excited. You're right. Actually, I told him I was excited. I was like, I'm now part cyborg. And they chuckled politely. All right.
Did you tell a story about the lady who didn't think at chess? Lead with that next
That's
time.
it.
I couldn't talk. We actually had a discussion earlier. I said, the thing about Dennis that bothers me the most is I can't have a conversation. And then Mike said, I hope the person's deaf mute when they work
I
on
thought,
me.
like that's a dream.
Kind of what he said.
Kind
yeah.
of, not exactly that, not like that, but yeah. If there's a service industry type of a thing, my hope is that we're not talking. I know that makes me sound antisocial. So be it.
And I want to talk, and Dennis is talking. I'm like, I tried to do a thumbs up, thumbs down. It's just hard to talk. I had only learned better sign language.
You
Yeah,
should just
no sign
blink
language.
with Morse code the entire time.
All right, let's go. These are the dumbest comments. All right, let's go to today's top 10 list, which is marginally better than last week.
Here we go.
Top 40, baby.
That's right. Wow. All
There
right.
we go. Nothing strange about this, guys.
Top 40, baby.
Just looking at my list.
All right, my number 40 is one that I'm almost sad that it has to come now because I've had so many people, for one reason or another, that are excited about it because I've seen it in the live chat. Somebody just called it a few moments ago. I think it was Jason. My number 40 is a pick up and deliver game. We mentioned in yesterday's list that it's a underappreciated mechanism, and
Can I guess what
you
it
can
is?
certainly guess, sir. It's
Pick up and deliver?
It's out of print, unfortunately. Very sadly, out of print. Yeah.
Are you the only person who likes it?
I'm the only person who likes it.
Cinque Terre.
Cinque Terre coming.
Cinque Terre.
That's right, the 5 villages. This is a beautiful entry-level pick-up and deliver game from Rio Grande Games. It's one of the better-looking Rio Grande games. Normally, they don't have great-looking games. I think this is a beautiful, vibrant-looking game. My biggest issue with it, component-wise, is I would like the trucks to carry the cubes. That would be great. People have made little Etsy add-ons where you can stick them onto the back of the truck and then you can put the cubes on there.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can get them on Etsy. I haven't done that yet, but I'd like to.
Hang on.
But this is a very, very pleasant and charming, especially if you like this, this idea of visiting these quaint little villages in Italy to get fruits and vegetables, and you're trying to get them at the best price. It's by Chris Handy, who has really kind of probably known more for those Paco games.
Yeah.
This is a big box game, but again, it is probably slightly heavier than something like Ticket to Ride, but it's in that same kind of weight. And it's just pleasant. It's lovely. I do wish it was more widely available because I think as an entry-level pick-up and deliver game, it does a very, very good job. And it's just one that I've always loved from the first time playing it. It's never left my collection. I doubt very highly it ever will. My number 40, Cinque Terre.
Cinque Terre.
I'm still back where you said it's like a beautiful game.
What about that is not attractive?
No, the cover's fine.
What about the board's not attractive?
Go back to the board, Roy.
Is that all right, Roy?
And make it big.
What?
Okay.
What's the matter with that?
It's just okay.
Have you seen Rio Grande games?
Well, sure, but they shouldn't get accolades for doing the bare minimum.
That's how it works. If you're a kid who gets straight D's and then you bring home a C+, you better be getting cake. That's how that works.
That's right. I think this is an attractive looking game. I really do. I don't think it's like...
I don't think it's bad necessarily. Attractive is a strong word. I mean, I'm someone who's not really known for dressing conservatively.
Yeah.
And I think that board's a little gaudy, that outside
Look,
part.
that board is very fine, and You'll never see a better looking zucchini than you will.
Look, I'm still trying to get my shirt to dry. I told Mike, I was at the dentist and the guy said, spit. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, spit. So I spit all over my shirt. The guy was like, no, you're supposed to turn your head and do it in a cup. And I was like, well,
You didn't know that? You've never been to a dentist? What's
look,
going on?
he didn't say turn your head and spit in a cup.
Oh,
He
you're
just
one
said
of those
spit.
people who has to be told exactly what to do.
Whoa. In this case with the dentist, yes.
Folks, you may want to just like hit record on this one because we're only in the first one, and we got a long way to go.
That's true. We went 60 minutes on one.
That's right.
Go.
Cinque
Okay, done. My number 40.
My number 40 is probably the most attractive game that's going to be in this chunk of 10s, honestly. The prettiest board.
Okay.
My number 40 is Dune Imperium.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that brown, baby. Let me see some different shades of gray and brown. Look at that. Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. This game is a fantastic game, but it's
And this
not.
is showing upgraded components,
It's not a looker.
too.
Yeah, come on. No, this is already better than what you get in the box with miniatures and whatnot. But above and beyond all that, this is a fantastic game with some serious cutthroat mechanisms in
Yes.
there. This is one of those games, and I think Mike feels the same way, that when I'm done playing, I need a break. Like, I
100%.
need a minute. It is so crunchy. It just it puts me on edge. You're racing to 10 points, but it's not a race to 10. It's like a knife fight to 10
The
points.
scrape up.
You're just scraping, people's faces off on your way to 10 points. But I love it. Great game. Dune Imperium, my number 40.
All right, my number. No, I'm just. Contents are being rude. Look, I was following directions exactly. All right. This is the 7th year that my number 40 has been on the list, and that is the best team game in existence, and that is Captain Sonar.
Oh.
You know, I meant to play this multiple times on the cruise and didn't happen, and I meant to play it multiple times at the retreat, didn't happen. I need to get this back to the table. Also, I need to get this back in the feeling of let's bring it. Like, I'm just afraid that I'm out of practice now. I want to have like a secret practice game.
Has anyone ever played, do you think, anywhere at any time in the world ever played a game of Captain Sonar in a submarine? Has that ever happened?
I doubt it.
Darn it.
I really
No.
don't think so.
That would be great.
There's not that many submarines
Also-
in the world, you know what I mean?
That would be a really crowded space.
I don't know. Submarines
Yeah,
can be
it would
pretty
Also, there
big.
could be some really awkward things like, shoot!
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to create war because of it, but yeah, I really doubt that's happened. When is the roll and write of this coming out? That's what I want to know.
It's the plot to, what's that,
Hunt for Red
Crimson
Eyes.
Tide 2.
Oh, yeah,
Crimson
Okay,
Tide
there we
2.
go. They were playing board
They played
games.
Captain Sonar and someone accidentally took it as a real game.
With the Russian commander with the brogue accent, yeah.
Thank you, Elliot, for the super chat. I didn't see what state or country you mentioned, but whatever it was my
It
favorite.
was great.
Also, Kevin gave out like 100,000 more
Subscriptions.
members.
Or no, memberships.
We can see the members because they have yellow dots.
Look at that. What an animal. What an absolute animal.
All right. The People's Choice, number 40. It's time to guess. Single word.
Yeah.
And when the first time we played this, we used this word like Smurfs use Smurf.
Okay.
Clank.
Clank is
Oh,
correct.
see, that's great. I didn't get that.
Well, you weren't in that
Swish,
game.
Oh, I
son.
see.
The first time we played Clank, was
Chinquac?
clank it up.
Danny. You got to clank it up, yeah.
So it was 35 last year, 27, 21, 23, 22. So it's staying pretty consistent.
Strong clank.
Clank, and if you remember, Clank Legacy was already on the People's Choice.
That's true.
And so Clank is here. I don't think Clank Catacombs. I don't even know if that will even make it up. And I don't
Too
believe.
early. Those too soon, eh?
Yeah, but Clank in Space did not. Clank in Space is to Clank as King of New York is to King of Tokyo.
Sure.
Actually, it's not. It's not that much. People do like Clank in Space.
Right.
People like King of New York. It wasn't. It kind of came out and you were like, there's more game here. I want to go back to the other
The
one. The
simple-
There is something
familiarity, the
about that.
simplicity, you know?
Yep.
But anyway, Clank, very good deck building game. And I just moved it and sat it next to Dominion on our shelves.
okay.
Put all the deck building games together next to Quest for El Dorado. They're very different games if you
They
think
are,
about
yeah,
it.
because that one could go with the racing games too. So yeah.
I thought about that, but it was deck building. The one out.
All right.
All right, you're number 40, Clank.
All right, my number 39 is a huge riser. It went up 50 points, 50 places.
The newish?
And if you'd, it's newish.
Okay.
If you'd asked me beforehand, I wouldn't have thought, but I think I played it a lot in the time period between the last list and this year, and it has risen up to be one of my favorite cooperative games of all time. It is a cooperative game that I feel handles this genre in a unique way, and that makes it stand out. My number 39 is Paleo.
Wow. Does this take the expansion into account at all?
It does, yeah. I've played with the expansion, and the expansion is one that we reviewed not too long ago on the channel, where I feel like it is nice, but it's not necessary. It is, to me, the expansion is if you've played enough of the base game that you want a different experience. Zee felt it changed the experience too much. But regardless of that, this is for base Paleo, this ranking, because I actually am thrilled to still keep exploring what's there. I really like how it takes this kind of survival theme and implements it so well through the deck building mechanism, where you've got some unknowns with the backs of the deck. You have an idea of what type of a thing you're dealing with. I like how it handles the cooperation element, where it really does, it doesn't eliminate an alpha gamer, but I don't see alpha gaming in Paleo very much. For one reason or another, just the way that you can kind of play out your cards to either choose to aid on a test or not, it just seems to kind of fade. That alpha stuff fades into the woodwork a lot of times. And I like that it's so variable, and that you just can put together a couple of different decks and it can completely change the way that the game works. Very smart design, a unique approach to cooperative gaming, a theme that I happen to like. Paleo, I think, is a very, very solid cooperative game that I'm continuing to look forward to playing. There you go. My number 39, Paleo, jumped way up the list.
What a good choice, Mike. I have also played this game because I play all games Mike recommends.
Where is that coming from?
I'm just saying that.
Oh.
You know, if you recommend a game and think the game's worth playing, I play it.
That's right. You never will push back at all against me recommending a game for you to play.
Mike, for goodness sake, you're my number one recommender.
Well, Tom, you now have become an official gamer. I'm glad. The time is, it's about time.
Thank you.
You've been a pretender for very long.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. My number 39 has been on this list for a long, long time. It was 31 last time, so basically the same spot. This is one of my absolute go-to introductory games for people.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people say Ticket to Ride. That's great. Carcassonne, that's great. For me, Alhambra.
You love some
You are
Alhambra,
the highest.
man.
I like Alhambra a lot, but you like it the most.
I really like
That's why Zee has all the big boxes of Alhambra.
I have every big box they've come out with, and I organize them by what they share. Like this expansion is in big box number 3 and 7. Those two boxes go together, with those expansions kind of near each other.
Fun fact, all of Zee's many gerbils, he has named Dirk Hen.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how
Durkee?
you can tell them apart, but that you
I
seem
call
to
them
know.
different variations of Dirk Hen. Durkee. The Dirktista. Dirkaroo McGee.
Your drugs are somehow
Affecting
jumping
you?
onto me.
That's how drugs work.
I feel
Yeah,
like it.
well. Alhambra is a fantastic tile-laying money manipulation game from back in the day, but it really does hold up. It's clean, it's fun, I dig it.
Yeah, it still holds up. The money
does.
part is my favorite aspect.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
All right, my number 39 has been on the list for 9 years. It was 56 last year. It's gone up a bit. I don't know. It waffles back and forth. It will be on my list for a long time because this is one of my favorite social deduction games, even though it's not one that people think of as social deduction. Actually, it's not social deduction. It's just, is the other person lying or not?
Okay.
And that is Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh.
But it's kind of a social deduction style game. It kind of fits in that category.
Yeah, it's a social game, just on a more broad
Yeah,
term.
it's not quite party, but it's party adjacent, and it's hilarious. I love this game. I actually thought about getting the original version of this game and putting it in the library.
Oh, the crossing the border one?
Yeah, I think it's where you're smuggling
I can't remember how it's in German.
macaramba.
No, it was in German. I don't know.
It was in German, the Hofstur. I can't remember. Someone will
I
put it in
used
the
to
chat.
own it, the one with the tin suitcases and stuff.
I did like the tin suitcase, and the rules were not particularly. They're a little clunky, especially about you're putting cards in the suitcase or under the suitcase.
Right.
But it was a funny theme anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it was remade. Part of why I was involved in that, but
Sure.
being the first Dice Star Essential. But I think it's a great, great game. Sheriff of Nottingham. All right, people's choice. Zee did the last one. Mike, it's your turn. Ooh.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know if I can do this in one word.
Doesn't have
Do
to
it
be
in
one
3.
word. I can name that tune in 4 notes.
I'll do it. I'll do it like code names.
Okay, go.
Garfield 3.
Garfield 3. It's the 3rd Raiders of the North Sea.
That is correct, Mike.
Wow, Mike is a
All
shark.
right.
El Sharko.
This has been on the list
I'm going to call you Dirk
I knew
Ken.
it wouldn't have been Viscount.
for
so.
5 years. It's
Okay.
gone up it's gone down by 3. It was 36 last year.
Okay.
Pretty much the same spot here. This is one of the most popular, but not the most popular of
surprising.
these games. You know, this is
So there's more coming.
Yep.
there's one thing I think is interesting about Garfield games. So we have several companies that have their fans.
Yeah.
The Valeria, Tiny Epic, you know, and they all, when they come out, they do really well.
Yeah.
But then the ones that actually hit the zeitgeist where people play them and talk about them in public, and is Garfield's there.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I mean, like
Yes.
Tiny Epic games very rarely get played.
I see what you're saying,
In like
yes.
at conventions and stuff.
These-
And the Valeria games, I don't see people, but I see the Garfield games
Yes.
all the time.
We have
played,
passionate
yes.
fans, and they're actually out there in the
Of the
zeitgeist.
small company who makes franchises, I think he has had the most critical success.
Are we sure it's not Garp Hill?
I'm pretty sure I've heard Shem pronounce it Garfield, but I'm not positive.
Shem, I know you watch these videos every once in a while. Tell us if we're pronouncing your name wrong.
I think it's Garfield. Because I believe it's the name of a bird. I'm not positive. I know their logo is a bird, but anyway.
That is way
Actually,
off
that may be-
course.
that may be wrong.
The Raiders of the North Sea, very good app, by the way. The company that makes this app is it's Acrim, right?
I think Akron makes the Raiders app, yeah.
Acrim makes such great apps.
They do.
Anyway, Raiders of the North
Or
Sea,
Direwolf.
fantastic game. So check it out. Direwolf. I know it's Direwolf. Someone
is
said it times.
Direwolf?
You're right. I think that's Direwolf.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Heart Ender Grenza.
That's what it was, close to the board.
It's heart and hand, or heart and brain.
A heart
yeah.
and or Grents is worth 2 in the Grens. All right, my number 37, or 38. Woo, that was close. I almost pulled a Tom there. My number 38 is a game that is essentially a card game, and it is one that has some very clever card play. My number 38 is Aquatica. This is a game that I was intrigued because I love water-themed games. I have just figured that out over time, that if a game is themed and has, you know, an aesthetic that includes water, I'm immediately going to be interested.
Right.
But what hooked me on the game was just a couple of things. One, it has that mechanism that I like so well, where you play, and Tom talked about it, because I think this was either on your list or the People's Choice, where when you play the card, it stays down until you play the card that allows you to pull them all back.
Yes.
I like that mechanism a lot. I also like the fact that when you're playing particular cards, not your character cards, but your location cards, you put them into your dual layer board and they slide up and they allow you to trigger different combos, so you get this kind of combo-tastic feel. It plays very quickly, which I like, and depending upon which variation, if you're playing the base game or if you're playing with the expansion, I like that different goals can trigger the end of the game. I always like that mechanism as well. So there you go, my number 38, Aquatica, a beautiful looking game, a fantastic card combo-esque type of a game.
Combo-tastic. I believe.
Combo-tastic.
It's so pretty.
It show is.
Maybe you're part mermaid, Mike.
I could be. I
You know?
could be.
You have the body for it.
Well, you know.
They Poseidon's based on Mike.
What?
It's true.
Is that an old joke? It's not okay if it's an old joke.
No, it wasn't an old joke, but let me rework it. I'll come back to you.
Okay,
I
we'll
need
come
some
back.
time.
Yeah.
We'll check in on you later.
That's right.
See how the drugs are going. Number 38 was relatively new. It was on my list last year, but I think it only came out last year. And it's holding strong, baby.
Woo!
This is when I feel like committing crimes, but I have the self-restraint to not actually commit crimes. I play Bad Company.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
So this is convenient because, as far as I can tell, this just hit a wider release in America. That's
right.
Finally.
There
Yes,
we
it did.
go.
Finally.
See, I'm nothing if not useful. So this is one you want to get your hands on, people. Yeah, it's really fun. It is a I don't know. We need a name for these kinds
for these
of games.
Machikoro-esque
I don't want to
kind
call
games.
it Machikoro
Right.
Space Base anymore.
No, dice trigger or
I guess.
because what you roll triggers cards.
I'm okay with calling them space-based-esque games. Let
No.
one game define a genre.
No, how? No.
Yes. Kleenex.
Okay, it's a
Jacuzzi.
Kleenex type game. Okay, I can
Pass
work
me
with
a
that.
space base, and you're like, what kind of space base? And I'll be like, Bad Company space base.
Okay,
Like
okay.
Coke in the South. I like an orange Coke.
That is a thing. They do say
So,
Coke for any
They
soft
do.
drink, right?
Jacuzzi is also another example of that.
Oh,
the
that's
hot
actually
tub.
That's a brand, yes.
Macadam. I know that one.
Oh, I didn't know that. Jacuzzi.
Yep.
Okay, well, Bad Company.
It's a good game.
38. I hope you learned a lot from that.
Hey, we want to do. I forgot to do the shout out to Juan Pablo, where I said
Juan Pablo!
Chile is my favorite country ever. For 2 seconds. Then Ari gave a super chat, and now Israel is my favorite country. Oh no, Hannibal,
Oh, no.
Austria.
Oh, no.
It's Fast and Furious.
Don't you dare!
It's
I hate that
Austria.
so much.
You love that. You're a meme beast, and you know it, okay? Yeah, you're Machikoro-esque.
I'll tell you this: of those little songs that play on those,
In memes
The
or
short
whatever,
clips.
yeah, TikToks, yeah.
sometimes I'll be like, I wonder what the full song sounds like. I have never liked the full song after one of those clips.
Yeah.
That includes the one you just did. All right.
That's the only one I can think of.
There's a lot out there. All right. Oh, and Bikini Bottom. Yay, Bikini Bottom. All right.
Whatever.
Let's get to my number 38.
What?
This is
Wait, was that Popeye?
No. The first one was Mr. Krabs, who's very close to Popeye.
That's okay. Well, that's
And then
what
the
I
other
thought.
one was Squidward. Whatever.
Okay.
That's SpongeBob.
I love how you make a sound and then immediately tell me who it is.
Yeah, well, I
It's
don't want
pretty good.
I don't want to leave you on the
I
hook
like
too long.
that. I like that. Yeah, see? Mobster. You know what I mean?
Jimmy Cagney.
I want to do that for everything now.
Number 38 for the people. This is the 5th year it's been on, and it's gone up. It was 55 last year, 72 the year before that.
He did his, right? Didn't you do your own?
No, he hasn't. We've
Oh, this is my 38.
this has been a complete.
Oh, I thought you did yours.
This has been a
My
complete
38.
catastrophe.
What are you on?
Jenway also gave us a greetings from Chile, Ohio.
From Iowa.
Chile, Iowa.
Iowa, got it. Could have cold Iowa.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, can I continue? So
Please.
38 is my number. My number has been on the list for 5 years, and it's gone up. It was 55 and 72. And this is Western Legends.
Okay.
The game you
Sandbox.
can do anything. I like, you know what? I don't know that I played the newest expansion for it. I was just looking at this the other day. I played the first one with the train and the terrible card game. What's that called?
Poker.
No, they added another card game in there.
Blackjack.
No, it's a 4-letter, like
The Crew.
Miko, Kako, Suko.
Caca.
I forget what but that it's a terrible game.
Okay.
I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, but I liked everything else about the expansion. I like robbing the train. That's fun, and I like this game. It's a lot of fun. It's my 38, not yours. Don't try to take it. The People's Choice 38. Okay.
I don't know, man.
I'm just like wondering if we're gonna even make it through this
Let's
thing.
just hang on. Let's just hold on, dig in deep.
Please keep
and
all hands and
fasten
arms
your
inside
seatbelt,
of the
kids.
Password time, Z. One word clue here.
Yes.
For 38,
Yes.
tableau.
I have a guess.
One word clue. The title's not one word,
No,
right?
it's not. The title is 4 words.
Race for the Galaxy.
Yes, that was my guess. Am I right?
That's correct.
Nailed it!
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Been on the list for 12 years on the People's Choice. It started as number 9. It is now 38, up from 40 last year. But,
It's coming back, huh?
you know, more people started this. I saw more people talk about this over the last year for various reasons. You know, that's. I don't know. I taught this several times over the last year because it's fun to teach this game to people who've never played it.
You know what I think it might be? This is a
kidding?
complete. This is a
beast to teach.
complete guess. There are still so many games that are released to this day that will make people go, "This is kind of like Race for the Galaxy." And if people hear that enough, maybe they want to play that game. The
We
game
said
we
that
played.
today.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
No,
made me
no,
think that. I can't say what it is. It's something
You
secret
think that's what it is?
that you can't know about.
You think
yet.
it's mentioning a
I
game
think-
enough that people are like, I don't know that one.
I need
want
it,
to play.
but I've heard it a few times. Maybe I need to check it out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think there's not enough games that are like Race for the Galaxy, but it took you like San Juan better
I
than
like
Race for
both.
the Galaxy.
Actually, I for a long time kind of went back and forth. But I think the simplicity of San Juan has, as of right now, is winning out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about Race for the Galaxy.
It's very good.
You
It's
watch
a
two
great
people
game.
that know the game well play it. It's like watching people play euchre. It's just like you can't keep. Yeah, they're just like so fast.
Yeah, that's true.
Has Race for the Galaxy been on my list yet? No, not yet. Okay, well,
Oh,
stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's your choice, 38.
Oh, Tom.
My number 37.
Oh, hold on.
This is why I never go back and watch your old top 100s out of order.
Yes.
My number 37 is another water-themed game. At least water plays a significant role in the game, or maybe more. What would be the word? Maybe more specifically, the things that lurk underneath the water play a more significant
Barrage.
No.
You're controlling the water and the dams.
No, I'd like to say, yeah, this is maybe a little more exciting than that. My number 37 is Sleeping Gods, which is a tremendous achievement in storytelling, but on top of that, it's also a very, very robust game. If I have any, kind of qualms about it, it's that it is such a robust game that it takes a huge level of commitment, to get it down, get it out, get it played. But let me tell you, if you take the time to go through this game, multiple sessions. I mean, you could play multiple full games that could take multiple, sessions within it.
12, 14 hours.
At least, right?
Yeah,
And you
each
could
one.
and then you can just go right back into it. You can go into a different direction. You could choose to go in similar directions and use the information that you gained in the last game to try to help springboard you into a different experience this time. The fact that such a small crew of people are involved in making these games. Ryan Lockett is probably the kind of chief amongst those, but he has a small dedicated team, many of them family. It's just amazing to me that they put out this level of quality this often. I start wondering, when are the wheels going to fall off, and they haven't yet. So I just get the impression that these are people that are passionate about what they do and really good at what they do. And I'm here for it, and I'm excited about the new one. Although, to be quite fair, I could just keep playing Sleeping Gods for the next 5 years, and I think I wouldn't run out.
I know.
It's a
I am very
fantastic
excited
achievement.
about the new
One thing
though.
I really like about this game is if you played Skyrim, I know you played Skyrim before,
Yes.
and I've restarted Skyrim multiple times, and every time I restart Skyrim, I got to sit on the stupid prisoner cart, wait to
Yeah.
be executed,
Yeah.
run from the dragon, escape from the dragon, go
Spoilers.
into that town, whatever, this is all in the beginning. Go through that cave that teaches you how to do everything, and then you get out of the cave, and then you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Yes.
Sleeping Gods, you can do whatever you want from turn one.
Turn one.
That's what I want. I want the lights up on me on that little cart. What's your name? And
That's
just
it.
leap from
That's
there
it.
That
and
would
run
be
away.
great if you
That's
could.
what I want to
I would
do.
want to roll off the cart in
I
Skyrim
want
and be like,
to sneak behind that castle, and when the dragon shows up, just jump on its back and ride it away. Why can't I do that, Tom?
well, because it would eat you. I just realized we're on 37, too. People are talking, this is the number we gave out a long time
37.
ago.
Oh, this is the
Remember
one.
the
Yeah,
number.
yeah. That was the number.
Okay.
So yours was Sleeping Gods.
Yes.
Well, this is a big reveal. What's your 37?
My 37 is an old parlor game, actually, that I'm a big fan of.
Hearts.
Parlor game.
That game you like play with your
You
mom
wouldn't have
in
Liar's
Barton,
Dice
Iceland.
this. You wouldn't have Liar's
No.
Dice this high up.
I wouldn't?
I wouldn't think so.
Would I lie about it? Would I bluff?
Maybe you would.
37 for me is Bluff, which is the same as Liar's Dice.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
This happens to be my version of the game that I have now, but it's Liar's Dice. And it's a fantastic, rambunctious game that I always have a good time with.
It's always fun.
It has 3 rules, and immediately you're having fun. You can, in this game, immediately hop on the dragon's back and ride it out of town.
Yeah.
And I like that very much. You play with different folks who are going to be very careful in their bids. I think among all of our cups here, beneath our cups are 3 2s. And the next person's like, 7 6s. And you're like, oh, okay, geez, we've lost.
I didn't know it was that kind of
we've
party.
lost some dice already. And then you quickly go, 8 of them. You know what I mean? Like, I love that one-upmanship, that tension, that like, do I push it or do I call you on it? It is so fun. This game, there's the rolling and the loudness of all of that tactical fun, but it's all happening up here. And I love that That's too much. That's too many. I don't know. But I'm going to push it and force the next person to be the one to think about it. All of that stuff is fantastic. 37 is my number one at 37.
By the way, there's some confusion in chat. Bluff is Liar's Dice.
Yeah.
Also called Perudo.
Yes.
They're the same game. There's some minor differentials. There's some versions of it don't have a wild side, which is crazy. You never play
It's
without
still
that.
treated as a wild. I
Right,
think.
Well, there are some versions that don't. The really cheap ones you buy that are,
Okay.
And then there's there's a variant. What's the variant where you can re-roll the dice or?
Yes, I don't know what it's called, but yes, you can make a new bid, and then reveal your dice, set some aside, and re-roll the rest.
Yeah.
That's how I play, because it gets, again, even crazier. And I love to do that. I roll them after I make a crazy bid, put them down, don't even look at them. I'm just like, I know they're there. I know it.
That's fun.
All right, I'm at number 37 now. So from here to 1, there's only 3 games that are still on the list from the original top 100 I made 19 years ago.
Wow.
And this is one of them. And this is a game that I forget a lot of things. Not as much as you, but I forget a lot.
Huh?
Right. What? Did you say something?
Huh?
Okay.
Spit.
Do not turn.
That's why I don't tell you guys stories, because they come back to haunt me. I'm trying to be open. Anyway, but as soon as we play, I remember this game. As soon as we played it, I was like, "This is my favorite game ever." Like for a brief moment, it was like number 1.
Yeah.
It's a great party game, and that's Time's Up.
Okay, sure.
Time's Up. Still, I have a blast every time I play it. Now, I will say, over the past 5 years, I've morphed from playing it 2v2v2v2 to team versus team.
I prefer it that
I'm
way.
surprised you ever liked it better at 2 versus
Yeah,
2
That's
versus
the
2.
way I learned it, and so just really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I was like, "Who is my partner? You and me," you know. And
I get that. Yeah, sure. But yeah, in groups, it's with
gosh.
everybody shouting
Especially with
the
big
guests.
groups. Oh my gosh, yeah. I played a big
That's
group
fun.
of this in the UK. It was the best game of Time's Up I ever had. It was great.
The only problem with that is if somebody's a little eager and they shout during that middle round, the wrong guess, you have to move on.
yeah, that's when you
That's pretty
put
bad.
tape over their mouth.
Right.
Then.
Yeah.
All right,
I murder them.
37. This one is for you, Mike.
Okay.
What's the clue?
Garfield.
Seriously? It's a one-word clue. Okay, so we already had Raiders. I can't remember if Architects has been on the list yet. I'm going to guess Architects, 'cause I don't think it's been on the list yet. But if it's not Architects,
Architects has not been on the list yet.
okay, then I'll say Architects.
It's Paladins of the West Kingdom.
I thought Paladins would be the highest. Okay.
I didn't say Architects will be on the list.
Okay, no, that's fair.
It
that's
will
fair.
be on the
It
list,
will
Mike.
be, right?
Don't worry.
It will be.
This
How
is
many
the-
games does this company have on this list?
I'm telling you that he has a good.
They're good, man.
They're okay.
all
They're
good.
They're passable.
You're
okay?
way off. You're about to
this
get.
is actually, I think, my favorite cover of all the covers. I like that
Garfield.
line of knights coming at you.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Anyway, Paladins West Kingdom, it's the 3rd year it's on the list. This is definitely a game that when you play it is just points.
Yes.
Like his games don't always have the strongest of themes. This is the least of all the themes. Oh no,
What about those
Viscounts.
knights,
Viscounts.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Wayfarers has the Star
No,
Sky.
Wayfarers is probably
Architects has you building something.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And I mean the Raiders. You're
Yeah, you're rating.
in shipbuilding. You're building.
You are
something
building-
that starts with an SH.
Oh, straight fire, folks.
Paladins.
Straight fire.
Paladins is your number 37.
He meant caca.
I got it, Mike.
Oh, okay.
He meant
Let's move
caca.
on.
Wow. What's-
I blame Tom. I blame Tom.
Something's going on.
All right, my number
Something
36.
in the way you smell.
My number 36 is one of the 2 new games to my list in this block, and there it is. That's all right, Roy. That's all right.
Oh, this is new.
This is brand
Mike.
new. And
Wow,
and
you like this way more than
I adore this game, and I apologize because I know that when you hear many times when you hear these games are games that if you're excited about it, you want to go out and play it. And right now, this is very difficult to get a hold of in an English language version. It is coming very soon. I got in Essen an English language version, although If you're really desperate, it is language independent.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying it's a fantastic game. This is a
I'm
game.
saying I got a copy in
Right.
French.
And
You're calling me desperate?
I'm saying for people out there that want to get a copy of it, like Z.
I don't
Bless
think you need to hunt down a copy of this.
I
and I'll
think
tell
you need to hunt
I'll
down
tell
a
you
copy.
why, because regardless of how much Mike likes it, this game is not going to blow the barn doors off. You'll be able to get a fairly inexpensive
will.
copy in a year.
That's very true.
A year, and you expect people to wait a year
That's
to
right.
get a game?
While they're having their little discussion, let me tell you about the game. So this is a card game where you've got a personal
we were
player
told to shut
board,
up.
but you're also not only looking at your cards, which are based on different elements, water, fire, wind, but you're also looking at the players around the table, the backs of their cards. It'll tell you what type of a card it is. And when you play a card, oftentimes it'll be the strength of it, how well that it triggers, is going to be based upon either cards you have in your hand or the players around you have. You're going to be using those things to clear pollution off of your board, to build villages, to build other things on your board. It is just a lovely looking game with a theme that I like, but it also has this great this element of you're choosing how you score by the cards that you play. It's like, okay, I can kind of see I'm set up well for this type of a thing. I'm going to put this scoring card down here. I like games that give the players agency in how they score their points.
Yes.
It's not always going to be do this to get 2 points, do this to get 3 points. It's going to be let me look at my board tactically, see what I'm in best place to do, and then try to get a card that allows me to score for that thing.
Yes.
I always like that. It's just a great game. Tribes of the Wind. Tom is right. It's not going to be this universally loved game.
I don't think so.
But it's a Mike game, right? It's a game that the first time I played it, I was knocked out, and every time I played it, it has not lost any of its luster for me. Will it eventually go down? It might. Who knows? It may be an evergreen. I don't know yet, but every time I've played it, man, I have absolutely adored it. My
you
number
definitely
36,
like this.
Tribes of the Wind.
a lot.
It's also a smaller game than it looks to
It
be,
is.
I think, and
It's
that's
a
something to
card
be
game.
aware of.
It is. It's a card game, and it's a
Yeah.
relatively light card game.
It is. It's a light game, folks. It's
My tastes have been trending lighter, and that's something
Yeah.
I've said, and I'll repeat it.
It worries me that a lot of people get jazzed about us and these things we say
Yes.
about these games, and then they play them and go, "Oh, it's like a little cute card
You
game."
know what? I think this might get the Abyss effect.
Yes, exactly.
This is very similar to Abyss in weight and in card play,
Yeah.
but it looks like a big box game. It's
Right.
really
I
similar
like
to
Abyss
Abyss.
better than Tribes of the Wind, but
I like it better too.
Well,
but my point being, I think it's going to get that feeling of, oh, it's just a little card game that came in a big Ticket to Ride's box.
Yep.
okay.
You know.
Yep.
Want to say thank you to Jeremiah and Matthew for the super chats. It took me a long time to get around to saying that. I'm sorry.
Jeremiah's the best.
Also, Rice Law says, super chat from Poland. Poland is by far my favorite. I had a tattoo of whatever I had tattooed down there below.
I believe it was
removed.
Latvia or something like that.
Yeah, Latvia is gone and is now say Pol or Pol and. That way I can add another country afterwards.
Right, Pole and another country.
Isn't it Polska in Polish?
Bring the tattoo artist
There
back
you
in.
go.
Yep. It's going to hurt this time. Where are we at, guys?
36. 36, Z.
36 for me has been as high as my number 2 in the past.
Oh.
It was my number 2 in 2017. Back in the day, you
Is it
might
because
say.
another game with a different theme has come out that's in the same
No,
family?
no. I've just cooled on it a little bit, and to be fair, still very much like this game. It's 36th favorite game ever. It just happened to at one point be my number 2. And to be fair, number 2 is probably too high. It's generally a solo game.
You wouldn't have Nemo's War up this high, would you?
I already said
No.
Nemo's War.
Okay.
Did I say it? I don't think it's in my top 100, actually.
He never said Nemo's War, so shut up.
No, this is Onirim or Onirim or whatever you want.
Okay, yeah.
This was at
It's
one point.
falling. Yes.
It was my number 2 at one
Keep
point.
shuffling
Yeah.
on down the list.
It was my number 6, my number 2. Yeah, it went 40 from 2014. It went 40, 6, 2, 10, 23, 14. So it went back up again. And I don't know what it was last year, and now it's 36.
Now
So
all the way down here.
yeah, all the way down. I still
In the garbage slot of 36.
very much enjoy it. It's a great little solo game. Probably my favorite cards only solo game. I mean, it definitely is. And I doubt it would ever not be, honestly. It's so clean. It's exactly what I'm looking for when I want to play something like this. What are you laughing at?
Roy, can you scroll down just a little bit? It was his number 2, and now it's just number 2.
Oh, jeez. Children.
That's fantastic.
They meant caca. Oh!
Sam McDonald in the chat confirming Garfield named after Shem's late father. Thank you, Sam.
Gary
Yes.
Phillips.
That's right. It's not the bird is a New Zealand bird, but it was named after his father. Thank you.
Look, I said it right. I think there should be some, like normally I have to be corrected, but I was okay.
No, it was very okay.
That's really cool that Gary Phillips, Garfield.
Yeah.
That's a cool nickname.
That is cool, actually, yeah.
I like that. How would that go for me?
All right, so Z's number 36 is Oniram.
Zee Gar.
My 36 has been on the list for 5 years. Oh, by the way, big super chat from Tej, who says Mike reminds him of his father. Giant and Kental. Kind and gentle.
Oh, thank you for that.
Let me see.
Actually, no, he just said hilarious, sweet, utterly lovable, and so charming.
My goodness.
He says, I love watching you.
Nice to make it creepy, Tom. No, this was a very kind thing to say. Thank you.
All right.
Aww.
Anyway, I thought there was another one. Okay. Oh, hello from Mexico.
Say it.
Saludos from Mexico. Come for taquitos.
Come for taquitos.
Edgar, thank you.
Stay for the lovely people
Mexico
like Edgar.
is now my favoriteest country ever. I'm going to move there.
Our friends from the south.
All right, my number, where are we? 36.
Yes,
It's been on the list for 5 years. It was 57 last year, so it's moved up. I taught this at 2 different groups this year. Mm-hmm. I like it so much, even though it's just a hodgepodge of mechanisms.
Okay.
Phil.
That is Rajas of the Ganges.
Oh. I saw you teaching this, right? Were you teaching it or
Probably.
playing it at a convention recently?
I've never played this.
I
I think
really
you'd
love
dig
this
it.
game. It's
I
a
think you
worker
might like
placement, dice placement, building a little thing with like Carcassonne tiles.
Yeah.
Moving the boat down the river, but you can't move back. The ratchet boat.
The boat.
Ratchet
the boat's
boat.
great. And then this also, doesn't this have the scoring thing where you
Oh
have to...
yeah, yeah. Definitely, this was not. Yeah, this has the 2 tracks that cross each other.
Right.
I love that.
It's super
I
smart.
like how it looks. I like those dice a lot. Usually, you have to replace dice in games.
Yeah, not
with
this
real
one.
good dice. But I like the dice in this one. Lots of fun. All right, People's Choice 36.
All right. What are we missing?
Confirmed. Tom pronounces Spanish better than English.
Why don't you just switch. Just start speaking
All right,
Spanish.
It's
It's
Zee.
Zee's turn. It's Zee's turn.
Zee.
Hit me with it. Hit me with your best shot.
Hit me with you.
Okay.
Teotihuacan.
Not dogs.
Isle of Cats.
There you
That's
go.
correct.
There we go.
Whoa,
Bam!
that's really good.
We need to make a game
That
out of
wasn't
this
that
game.
impressive.
What do you mean?
What other cat game is going to be up this high?
Cat lady?
It's a good game, but not this high. It's too soon.
Okay, Isle of Cats is the third year. No, this was 32 last year, so pretty close to the same spot. This is a very popular game. One of the most popular polyominoes. So,
I'm sorry, the chat is just. I mean, I'm like 8 years old all of a sudden.
please don't get Mike poop jokes.
No,
okay?
I usually don't like poop jokes, but there's
thank
some
you,
pretty.
Jillian, for the super chat. Who?
We have no one to blame but ourselves. We have no one to blame but ourselves.
Oh my God.
That's the dumbest joke yet. Come on now.
This is terrible.
I'm never wearing shoes again, okay?
His foot reminds me of my dad's.
I'm never wearing
My
shoes
kids
to
tell me to
work
put
again.
socks on.
I know.
All right,
Sorry,
anyhow.
guys.
All right, so anyway, your choice for 36, and Poland's back on top. Your choice for 36 was Isle of Cats. Very popular game. I like this one a lot. I don't think this one hit my top 100, but I could easily play this. It's a nice mix of the drafting, has as many cards practically as Bunny Kingdom, which I like a lot.
Yes.
And then the polyomino part. And if you upgrade, it has really cool meeples, and the cat artwork is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, we'll see
Too many
this
cats.
year if we care about the cats that we left behind.
For race for
don't.
the raft, yeah.
But we'll see how Race for the Raft does.
right.
I don't know, Mike, sequels and all that.
I know. It's
If you're
always
ever going to
risky.
make a sequel, though, you need to talk to Shem Garfield.
Shem Phillips. He
Yeah.
knows how to do it.
Because he'd make sequels that people
To
like.
be fair, it's barely a sequel. It doesn't really matter that they're thematically connected,
Yeah, it
right?
doesn't. Not really, no.
Yeah.
Oh, the City of Games.
Oh, speaking of, there you go. Thank you, Frank.
What I meant was, this is my favorite game.
There you go. The favorite. This is the Isle of Cats is your favorite country in the world.
Actually, since I never mentioned this, Frank did email me and sent me the sell sheets of like the most sold games from one of the big distributors, and
Yeah.
the number one was Isle of Cats.
Wow. All
There,
right.
there you
Okay.
go, Frank. I said it for
Congratulations,
you.
Frank, and thank you for the support.
All right, let's go.
35. All right, my number 35 is another water-themed game.
What is going on?
That reminds
you have
me.
to pee or something?
Yeah, right? Yeah, someone.
Oh, I did in the
was-
middle of the dentist thing too. That's so annoying.
You peed in the middle of your dentist?
No, that time.
Did he tell you to pee and so as well as spit?
No, you know what? As soon as I said that, go. Like,
Yeah, yeah. All right, my number 35 actually
is
reminds
going
me a
on?
lot of Tribes of the Wind.
And it's a water theme.
Yep.
Is it Abyss?
My number 35 is Abyss. Boom, baby!
We already talked about it a bit. Oh, Zee
Yeah,
talked
well,
about
no,
it.
he mentioned
I
it.
mentioned it, and I didn't even realize when I
That it
said
was coming
that
up?
it was my next one. So
That's
Abyss is a
wonderful.
game that I absolutely adore. The base game is great, but it's even better with the Leviathan, right? Is that the second one?
Yes, because
Kraken
it's
and
Kraken and
then
Leviathan or
Leviathan, yeah.
something like that. The
Yeah,
second
yeah.
one is fantastic.
Yeah, but this is a great card game with a little bit of push your luck, some nice card powers there. But yeah, when this first came out, I think that there was a little bit of pushback against it because, again, like Tribes of the Wind, it's very much a card game
Yes.
in a big box that looks like it's going to be this big epic board game experience.
Yes.
It is not. It is a tighter, lighter to some extent card game, but I adore the theme. Bruno Catala. I'm with you. I'm not quite. I won't take your mantle from you as the.
You can try, son.
That's right.
I cut you.
But it's a spectacular game and one that I continue to want to play.
Yes.
And that usually are the games that are higher on my list. Are the games that if someone suggested, I'd be like, yes, let's go right now. I'm ready to play it. Number 35 is Abyss.
Yeah, I'm teaching this at so many conventions these
Yeah.
days. Almost every event we go to,
Mm-hmm.
it usually comes off the shelf. All right, my number 35. Let's take a look over here. 35. I had decided for these because there's not too many new ones. I figured I would go back and look. The highest it's been is 25, and that was 3 years ago, 2020, I guess. So it's not that high, but
So it's
funny
a solo
enough,
game because that's when it was highest.
That's right.
funny enough, it's a Bruno Catala co-design as well. This is one that I know Tom likes. I think you like it. This is Mission Red Planet.
Oh, I love it.
Woo!
Yeah, it's
Mission
great.
Red Planet is a fantastic game.
It is.
It has area control. It has character selection, kind of like Citadel's. That was previously in my top 100. This is better than that, in my opinion, because it has so much more going on in it. Yes, it's still mean. There's still some really in-your-face interaction in this game, but it stays a lighthearted affair. It's very quick. It's about 45 minutes
Yes.
tops. And I love the artwork. I love what's going on in it. This idea of loading your people onto the rockets that go to Mars. There's that manipulation. Oh, I got to jump in here before you get in. Oh, this one, when it takes off, I'm going to explode it in the air.
Right.
All your people are going to go to the Lost in Space Memoriam over there. And then, once you finally do take off and land on Mars, that area control on Mars for resources on there. Really neat. Love
Yeah.
it. One that I need to teach more. I feel like maybe I should put this one in that rotation. So much, teaching Abyss.
Yeah,
I'm sick of
right.
Abyss. Okay, I don't want to teach Abyss anymore. Get out of my face.
You could even teach us to 6 players and get away with it.
You absolutely
It's-
could.
Yeah.
6 is not necessarily amazing, but it's pretty good with
It's pretty
6.
okay, and it's not that much longer either. I mean,
Yeah.
this is probably the meanest game that doesn't tend to lead to hurt feelings because every person is going to get wrecked.
Right.
You know that going in. It's chaotic.
A little chaotic.
You know?
yeah.
A lot of fun.
All right, thank you, Ben Naylor, for the super chat. All right, I'm going to combat Mike's love of the Cult of the New. My
Do
number
it.
35 It's on the list for years, but it's been around for, I think, 24 years at this point. And if you're not sure how old it is, it looks so old, ugly. And they even made a reprint of it that was even uglier than the original one. This is a game I originally ranked a 6. Now it's up to a 9 for me.
Wow.
And that is St. Petersburg.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
I have never
okay.
played
That's
this.
the old one, though.
Thank you, Madison. This is the old version. They're all ugly.
Look at
Thank you,
that
Madison.
horse.
Canada's now my favorite country. Yeah,
Wait, you skipped Poland, though, right?
Poland's up there too.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Poland, what do you-
Poland is my favorite. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually
Canada.
Canada. No, St. Petersburg, and actually, a lot of the reason it's gone up is because the new version, ugly as it is actually the one that's in this picture, has that market on the side, which you can see there, commodities market, and that really kind of filled out a hole in the game. Instead of it being 3 rounds, 4 rounds, it actually adds some time to the game. It's not a particularly long game. We're looking 90 minutes, but man, I love this game. I love the card economy. I've never seen anything else like it, where the cards you buy them and they activate in 1 round, and then they drop down. They get 1 less, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but I love this
This is a
game.
little like Hadara.
A little, I guess, yeah.
There's that whole
By the way,
like,
thank you
get
from Russia.
better.
Super chat. Russia is my favorite country, and Russia is the best. Is the best. Anyway, go back.
Yeah, it's Hadara has that sort of, again, investing in something and it gets better the more you do it, and you need to do it sometimes. Sometimes a little bit of that feeling.
It just has a lot of interesting rules because you have to sit there. There are some cards that will give you like 6 points every round. That's huge, but they're really expensive, and you can buy them early on, but then you're broke. It's an interesting economy back and
Yeah,
forth. You're
I need
right.
to
it
play
is-
this one.
If you like Hadara, I think you might like St. Petersburg, but this one is a little bit more thinky. It's not. I'm not saying it's super complicated, but it's definitely thinky because St. Petersburg is not. You can't afford to make too many mistakes in it.
Okay.
When I teach it to new people, I'll be like, you should probably buy some money cards right now.
Yeah.
Atlantis is my favorite fake country that doesn't actually exist. Unless
It's
you're
not a
talking,
country, it's a continent.
unless you're talking about the hotel and you're from.
Jamaica?
Yeah, no, Bahamas.
Haiti,
Nassau.
Bahamas, Nassau.
Okay, Mike, clue time. Is
Okay,
it
here we
Mike's
go.
turn?
Here we go.
Oh, okay. All right, ready? 1 word here. Flash.
Ah. You don't get
One
it?
word. Well, Flash Gordon, but what does that mean?
Are you
Okay.
serious?
Second word is pan.
Oh, the crew.
Gosh, Mike.
Sorry,
gosh.
I didn't catch
So
that.
Mike has been proven right that the crew Mission Deep Sea, which is the newer one, is a flash in the pan since last year it was 59 and this year it's 35.
Well, you know, the fire.
Oh, that's not how evidence works, Mike.
Fire rises before it goes out.
Look, it's a fine game. I
That's-
like the crew.
that's Bane.
I rated it
You got
well.
it.
I just didn't quite think. And look, I think I'm already at the point where I probably am gonna have to concede defeat on this
Eat
one.
crow.
Now, I will say it,
Which coincidentally is the next theme for the crew.
Oh,
the
I like
crew,
that. The
crow
crow.
feast.
I
Der
missed the
Crow.
super chat there, Roy. The crew is at 50, so this knocked it down. The newer version.
Yeah.
Oh, Sweden, where flip-flops are not an option this time
I
of year.
imagine, yeah.
Yeah, aren't you jealous?
Sorry, man.
But Sweden is my favorite country.
Is-
Sorry. We're talking about the crew Mission Deep Sea. This one, for most people who love the crew, this one instantly replaced it.
Yeah.
Although I was talking to some people that were playing the original one on the cruise, and they said it's easier to teach new people the other one. And I can
Sure,
see
sure,
that.
sure,
So
sure.
that makes sense. But yeah, this one is just much more interesting in either way, in every way. So you're 35, crew, Mission Deep Sea.
34 already.
Already?
34.
No, we're
Alrighty,
behind.
Mike, we're 58 minutes in.
It was
We're
a
behind
joke.
the curve.
It was
Pick
a joke.
it up.
It was a joke. All right. My number 34 is the second game that's new to this list, but it's not a brand new game. It is a new-ish game. It is a lovely tableau building game, nature-themed game. It has this is a game that has started. It started kind of quietly, but then it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and I have a feeling this is going to continue to grow. My number 34 is Meadow. we got a very early version of this game way, way back, and I
did.
remember you played it and you said, I think this is really good. And then, I was interested because I liked the look of it, and then I played it and I'm like, I think this is really good. And then it got out into
Notice
the...
he copied my quote
Right.
exactly
Almost
there.
That's right, but mine is the
verbatim.
one that's on the box. I think
Inflected
this
and
is really good, Mike DiLisio. Not Tom Vasel. But as it's gotten out there and more available, you can see that this is a game with a very wide appeal. It's not just the theme. It's a very smart card game that has, I think, a perfect mix of complexity to simplicity of rules. It is not a difficult game to teach. It's not a difficult game. There's like 2 or 3 core concepts that if you understand that, you're really good at that point.
There's been a few people I've had to explain the landscape cards to.
That's
for like
one of the core.
5 minutes straight.
That is one of the core concepts, right? But if you get those, it is just a lovely, lovely game. And again, one that I constantly see getting played. I think that this still has many, many more years of popularity to come. I happen to love the expansion, but just the base game itself has gotten to my number 34. Love, love, love Meadow.
My number 34 is an abstract game, and it has been as high as my number 9 back in 2014.
So it's abstract?
It is abstract.
Can't be Yinch because you already said no. Is it? No, not Yinch because you said the other one. Is it Yinch? Maybe it's Yinch. Is it Yinch?
It's Yinch! Hello!
Hello!
No indecision whatsoever in Tom's voice as he demanded it be Yinch. And indeed it is Yinch at 34. One of the best 2-player abstract games of all time that deserves to be at all these stores that carry cheap garbage versions of checkers and chess.
And backgammon.
Yinch should be in there. Maybe not in this beautiful version, but you can make a cheap garbage
No, maybe
version.
if he had named it something that wasn't so weird. You see that, you're like, I'm sorry, I don't speak.
What would you rename it to make
Hebrew.
it popular, you think?
Oreo.
Yeah, but that won't work.
Cookie Clash.
Apparently, Oreos and cookies are the same thing, is what I remember
Yeah.
hearing.
Cookie Clash might work.
Cookie
Yeah.
Clash.
But it doesn't sound... It sounds like
It sounds
it's
like a
targeting
kid's game.
children.
Yeah, it sounds like a
whereas
kid's
like
game.
chess and checkers
Right.
don't as much.
That's true, yeah.
But if you're right, the name I think does not help.
It is actually one of the easier names in the series, too.
Yeah, it is, but this has the potential to be one of those games, to be a game you
Yeah.
can walk into a store, the grocery store, an
Yeah.
anything store, and pick up this game as you're checking out and give it a try. But yes, it hurts itself a little bit. Having said that, lovely game. And this edition, the ones that they've made, are beautifully produced. Nice, chunky, Bakelite pieces with a great clack and tactile nature to them. Straightforward. You need to try to get 5 of your color in a row, and that's it. And you win. Well, you do that like 3 times and you win. But yeah, I love it. I think it's so good. I haven't played in a while. I have not been on an abstract kick for a while, but this is always one that I have fond memories of. So can't wait to try it again. I need to get this to the table. It's Yinchin time.
Thank you, Ant-Man, for the super chat. We're really looking forward to your new movie. And maybe we'll do a list for you this year. We'll see. All right. My number 34 has been on the list for 4 years. This is a game of actually very few decisions. And yet the push your luck aspect of it is so fun. I don't mind. I also insist that you play with upgraded bits, as does everyone who plays this game. And that's Quacks of Quedlingberg.
Quacks and quack and quack.
In fact, Quacks of Quedlingberg is one of the few games where I don't know that I've ever seen anyone play it that didn't just punch it out and play it without some sort of upgraded bits, whether they be coin capsules.
Yeah, maybe early on that wasn't the case, but nowadays, yeah.
I hate that. I hate that it's almost a necessity.
I do too.
I do too, but I don't know how. The only way I could have think they could have fixed it was by screen printing wooden pieces, maybe.
You maybe could have done that.
But I think even those might have worn off. You pull from the bag so
You
much,
do.
and honestly, they didn't. I bet you they didn't even. I didn't think of it much until we played it, and after about
I mean, you
20
play-
plays, you're not usually play testing components. If you
Right.
get the components, you're like, oh, these work. You don't say, okay, now play it 20 times, let the oil seep in from your fingers.
Yeah, quite honestly, you know, they
Disgusting.
have no way of knowing it was going to be as popular as it was, and then
There's also that.
you get the price element into it, and people,
To be fair, I think by now they should have come out with a deluxe version.
I do agree. Yeah.
That is weird. Well, also
what I mean?
the rights have jumped around. I don't believe North Star has this
That's
anymore.
true. That is
Okay.
true.
Okay.
So who knows? All right, Z. People's Choice 34.
I know
Here's
it.
your clue.
Hit me with it.
Under 2.
Oh, I know this one.
Just one.
That is correct.
Very
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
4th year this gargling game has been on the list.
Boss Nass over
It's
here.
so.
You know what though? This
I'm
game,
thinking you're gonna give me a clue.
this game has gone up consistently. And let me quick check to see if this is this the highest rated party game on the People's Choice? I think it is actually.
Oh, you've ruined the rest of the
Number
list.
7 will shock you though.
I'm not seeing another party game here. So this one, this is 34. Last year was 42, then 44, then 70. It's consistently gone up. This is probably the easiest game to get to the table.
It is.
Period. You know, you got people like, I don't like party, I don't like games. You might get them to play this one.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, you
So-
can get them to do anything depending on how much force you
I was
exert.
gonna say, I guess if I have a gun, I could make people play, Kingdom Death Monster
Cash and
with
guns.
me. Cash and guns. Yeah, that would be a really okay. Mike made it darker.
Mike did make it dark. I was going for like a funny sort of, I'm a funny uncle kind of bit, but Mike made it dark.
I made it dark.
Just one. You're number 34. I feel like a new game is here. Is it? Am I right?
No, my two brand new games were already on this list, but this is a newer game, and it's also up 34 points. And I have a feeling that this
34. Oh,
34 spots.
67.
Yeah,
Can't do
and
math.
I think it's because the amount of content for this game has skyrocketed, and it's
There's only one game that's done that.
Yeah, and
Marvel United.
It's Marvel United, yeah, and look, the base game itself would not be anywhere near 33
no,
on my
it's
list.
trash. I would deem it garbage.
It is not garbage, but it's just it's a framework, right? The base game is really a framework, okay?
Right.
And the stuff that's in the core box is great for a few games.
And then you want to put it in say it, trash.
No. Has this been on your list yet?
Not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right. So
It's not on mine at all.
that's also a lie. It's a fantastic game system. It's a super simple cooperative game system that has proven to be so much more versatile than I would have ever thought when we first played it. Because I was like, okay, I see what they're going for here. I know they're really trying to make this accessible, almost mass markety. It's cute. It's fun for a few plays. And then I saw how simple, or at least it seems simple, it probably is not, to take that framework and just go in different directions. Little tweaks to the system can change so much on the experience. And it is so easy to get off the shelf and onto the table and get played. That to me is so huge. And again, my tastes have been skewing a bit lighter. And I love being able to say, you want to play a cooperative game? Let's just do this. We can get it. I can teach it in minutes. We can play. We'll have a good time. We're going to have a good time, right? It's such a versatile core system that I'm still excited to see where it goes. Even the new stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy all the new stuff, but I'm like, oh, that's an interesting twist.
Join
That's
us
an
tomorrow
interesting
morning
twist.
at 10 o'clock for Marvel United talk and crowd.
Oh, that is true. We'll
crowdfunding.
talk more about it there.
Crowdsurfing.
My
Surfing,
number
yeah.
33 is Marvel United, and look, I really respect this game, and I think a lot of people don't. They think, oh, this is just a little. I think this is a much cleverer design than people maybe give it credit for.
I think it was dismissed a lot
Yes.
earlier on. Yes, I
Yes.
agree with that.
Well, it did make the People's Choice 51, and when we talked about that, I saw some people come in and kind of be like sniffing, like, whatever. It's popular, man.
It is.
It's a good
and
game.
it's popular for a reason.
What it does, it
Didn't
does
make my
well.
top 100, but
Oh, it didn't.
well,
Come on, Mike.
Yet. Yeah, it did.
yet.
Okay, what number are we at? 33?
33.
Okay. 33 for me is a heavy Euro game with a lot of dice in it.
Merv.
Merv doesn't have a lot of dice, though.
Right, it's not Merv. It is one from a company I very much enjoy that has had solid representation in my top 100.
Black Angel.
No, it's the game about with the smiley faces.
Oh,
Aportas.
Santa Maria.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
You thought of it. Mike said it. Mike gets
couldn't
the
get the
points.
words
Okay?
out.
Okay? You get smiley face. That's what you get. Santa Maria. This one is just the right kind of Euro for me. I like the complexity here. Not too much that I have to keep looking things up or I have to keep referencing something, but crunchy where I can take my play in many different directions.
Yeah.
The replayability here is great. You're not quite sure which way things are going to develop, which special upgrades or abilities you're going to get. Really enjoy it. And then it's the entire package is lightened by this dice manipulation system in which you draft your dice and then you can activate a row or a column or a specific tile by paying money and activating that tile. The whole just triggering things in this game is a lovely cascade of actions and activities. Really enjoyed. Santa Maria. It's one I haven't played in a while. Also, unfortunately, like I said, it's a little thinkier, but once I give myself sort of a brief reminder in the rule book, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's go. I can't wait to dig into this. And I always have a good time with it. So 33 Santa Maria for me.
It's a good one.
My number 33 has been on my list for 15 years and is a crossover with the people in this very top 10.
The people would certainly not pick anything that old.
I was trying to think of something older that the people have picked already.
Just two?
It is Race for the Galaxy.
There you go. All right.
Race
Is
for
that
the
old
Galaxy.
already, Tom?
Yeah, it is. There's another one I remember reading the rules on the subway ride home in Korea and thinking, this sounds really good, and I love it. I love the cards. This is one of the few games where I have almost all the cards memorized, and there's a lot of different ones, but I played enough. And you know what? You're right. It's a bear to teach, but I think I got it. I can teach new people now this game. You want to learn a convention, ask me. I think I can teach it. I practice it. I've honed my craft. Oh, Mac, I can't tell you what okay, so Mac asked what the chief is up to these days, and Texas is the best country. Yes, Texas is my favorite country. The chief played Race for the Galaxy, and he once won the game without playing a single card.
Wow.
It's possible.
That is impressive.
No, well, it's not as impressive as it sounds, okay? Because...
The other players at the table were all dead.
Oh, makes sense.
Way to ruin the story.
He was playing
I'm
it
sorry.
he was playing it in the Wooshka
didn't realize
Galaxy.
you wanted some tension. Okay, so there he was, the chief, sitting there looking around the table, had soulless, dead eyes. You following me?
There was no heads. They were gone.
Jeez.
All right. Hey, man.
that's
Well,
what
it was part of a bigger plot.
Oh, goodness.
The
Santa Maria, my
The
number
people's
30,
number
whatever it was.
33.
The People's number 33.
Oh, this is for me.
Ooh. This is for you.
Okay.
Give him a clue.
This is interesting.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a longer clue this
That's
time.
fine.
It's almost a straight crossover with me.
Okay. San Juan or Roll for the Galaxy, one of the two.
No, think newer.
Arc Nova?
No,
What am I thinking of?
Terraforming Mars, the
Oh,
card game.
thank you.
Terraforming Mars.
so bad at this.
Ares
I am. I'm losing my touch.
Terraforming. I gave you a longer clue than I
You
gave
did.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, this is a surprising one.
You're right.
It was 65 last year because this is the kind of game that I was under the assumption that kind of came and went. We were just talking about sequels that didn't get buzzed.
Yeah. But no.
Yeah, you're right.
This was at Target, too. This was another one like
I am
Jaws of the
surprised
Lion.
this is this high, though. Wow.
I did like this a decent amount. I liked it more than the board game. And I had a little resistance when I first played it.
Sure.
I was like, come on, this is Race for the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, they lifted that system wholesale.
They did.
They did, but it also plays very differently, though. Well, for one thing, I like Race better because it's so much faster. But if I'm in the mood to see an engine build with that mechanism, like, oh, I did this, and now this, and this.
That's true.
happened.
It takes a while.
All right,
That
you're
is
number
true.
33. Surprisingly, Terraforming Mars, Ares
It is
Expedition.
surprising.
And the new expansions for that, they should be coming out soon.
One would think, right?
This year, I think.
All right, my number 32 is a game by... I'm wondering if this is the designer that has been most represented on this list amongst all of us so far.
Well, if you're... That's not fair. You can't even include me in that because the two of you have taken Katala to the nines and bags.
Is it a brand new game?
No.
Jamaica.
Nope. My number 32 is Five Tribes. Five Tribes, a outstanding Euro game by one Mr. Bruno Catala, yes, that uses the Mancala mechanism to great effect, where you're going to pick up a group of different colored meeples and you're going to be dropping one off kind of path style, and where you end, the tile that you end and the color of meeple that you end with are going to determine a couple of things that you can do. The color of meeple will determine a particular action. The tile you land on will give you a particular action. This is one of those games where it's tactical, and I love tactical games. The people that bounce off of Five Tribes are understandably the heavy strategic gamers, because you cannot...
Or dummies.
You cannot long time plan for your turn, because the board state is going to change so immensely, even in a two-player game, but not as much.
No, I
not
agree.
As much.
I agree.
And so if
gotta react.
you have to know that. You have to be ready to pivot and be tactical and look at every single turn as a discrete puzzle, right? And one of the things that can drive people crazy, I love it, is... And this is another way to get in people's heads too, is that every time they start to put their hand over a tile that they're getting ready to pick up, you go, you start making noises, because then you make them think that there's a better move out there that they should be taking. I love it. I love it. I love making them think that everything they do is the suboptimal one, and that I see something they don't see. Trust me, I never see anything. But I want them to think they do. I just love the gamesmanship. I love the turn order, the battling for turn order in this game, where you're bidding your points. Such a smart game, such a well-designed, tight as a drum game with some great player powers and set collection, and everything I like about games is in here. Five Tribes, number 32. Love it.
David gave us a super chat. I've been waiting for over an hour for Zee's number 32.
Oh, here we go.
I get it. My number 32 is... Oh, let's take a look. Take a look at this. It's been as high as my number 3 back in 2014 also.
That's so far.
It's so far back. It was 3. Then it was 20. Then it was 8. And then 31, 57, 27.
Oh my.
And now it's 32. It's a dice game. One of the best, vibrant, fun dice games out there. It is often described as a Yahtzee-style game.
King of Tokyo?
King of Tokyo, that's right.
Or is it King of New York?
No.
King of Monster Island?
No. King of Tokyo.
King of Tokyo Legacy. That's not a thing.
Dark
It's
Edition.
not a thing. Dark Edition is pretty sweet, too.
Thank you for the super chat. Bruce wants Zee to talk more like Bane.
What am I, a dancing monkey?
That's not very Bane. That was a little too fast.
Bruce brought us
That was a little
donuts, so you better perform.
Oh, yeah? Okay. King of Tokyo. They have a darkness edition. I was born in darkness. You merely adopted the dice rolling.
It's like Tom Hardy is in the room.
Just like that. King of Tokyo is awesome. It's been around forever now, it seems like. Modern classic.
It is.
Is appropriate. This is super fun. It's been reprinted a couple of times. It's changed up a couple of times. Oh my gosh, the comments are killing me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I really do enjoy. This is a very approachable game. Again, there's been a few here in this chunk of 10 that we've all mentioned, actually, that I think are really approachable games that deserve to be in the conversation when Catan and Ticket to Ride come up.
They also deserve to be in the conversation when Agricola and Terra Mystica come up.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a thread on either Facebook or the forums where it's kind of like, oh, these
snobs are us.
Skew light, and it's stop being so snobby.
Yeah.
That's like me walking by a kid's table, kind of flipping it, like, oh, don't have fun with these guys.
That is fun, though, to kick over a kid's table.
To be fair,
my gosh. That's the best.
If you don't have any sand you can kick, you can at least flip over a table.
All right, my number 32 is brand new to the list, sort of. It's replacing an older game that was actually mentioned on the People's Choice in this same top 10.
Okay.
Deck building.
This is for Z, right?
Oh, no, this is the People's Choice. This is the cool one. Anyway,
This is your own thing, yeah.
it's Clank Catacombs.
Wow.
This is your pick at 32?
Yeah.
I gotta play this one, because
okay,
that tile deal looks awesome.
Here's the thing. I mean, Clank would have made Clank and Clank Legacy have been on my list in the past for sure.
This is taking over for them.
This really is. I don't I try not to put multiple games of the same type.
Sure.
This is my favorite way to play Clank. And I like Clank in Space, but Clank Catacombs, I probably won't play Clank again because in Clank, the board is always static. Here, the board is going to change based on these tiles, and that's a small change, but it really does make a difference. It has a strong sense of exploration, and hunting down that relic, I don't know where it might be. It might be around the next curve, and also occasionally, it doesn't happen often, but some cards will make these tiles rotate or move, and that's kind of cool too. I like that.
That seems like a big change to me.
Big
actually,
old
Tom,
Clank. That's clanking wonderful.
It also adds prisoners, and there's you get these key tokens, which are neat because there's a lock that you can spend it, or you might want to save that to open up and free some prisoners.
It's getting complicated. Now I'm not going to lie to you. Simplify it a little bit. It's getting a little too much Clank.
I really love Clank
Declank it
Catacombs.
for me.
All right. I don't have time for that. All right.
I do want to try this one. It
I do
looks
too.
really
What was
good.
your number 32?
My number 32 was 5 Tribes.
This is a crossover with the people.
The people are brilliant, as I always say.
8 years
just
of the
said you're
people's
brilliant?
choice.
The people are
You
brilliant.
just implied you're
Mike, what
brilliant.
was? Oh, you don't have your numbers from last year. So you
I
don't
do
know.
have my numbers from last year.
So
yes.
where was this last year?
For me, this went up one spot. It was 33 last year.
Well, it dropped for the people. So
Okay.
they like it less. It was 23, now it's down to 32. That's where they finally crossed you.
Okay. Yeah, they crossed me.
But still, this is definitely a very popular game with a lot of people. I think it will continue to drop a little bit just because I don't know that. Is this in print right now?
Oh, that's a good question. I
don't know.
Ooh, gosh, I don't know. You never want to assume anymore.
I have no idea. I
Days
try
of
not,
Wonder
to, I
is
try
kind
not
of-
to ever ask that question.
I know.
Days of Wonder kind of is like refocusing. And that with maybe with the popularity of Heat, the
say
5
it'd be-
Tribes Heat expansion.
it'd be very, very
might
silly.
retheme this with the Heat theme.
I can see that.
What would it be?
You're picking up bolts that have fallen off of your broken car and
Yeah.
dropping them off. Yeah.
That's a terrible theme.
No, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Also, the new theme for Yinch.
5 bolts.
All right, you know what? We have one more to do. I think we can make it. Let's
we can do it.
I don't know.
All right, last one. Last one on this time capsule list that we have here, folks. Just remember, you were here watching it live. You'll be able to say, I was there.
How many people are
for
watching
the 40
it
to
live right
31?
now? Is there at least 10?
There's 20.
Yeah, you can click that, and then, yeah, see, that's cool that you can go off it. I think that will stay up. Maybe. We'll see.
I can't see. All right. My number 31 is a game that has been mentioned already because I believe it was a crossover with the people. I doubt very
5
highly.
Tribes.
Nope.
Again?
It's so
Did it.
big it takes up 2 spots on his list.
Oh, my God, baby.
Doubt very highly it will be on either Tom or Zee's list. I know Tom has played it. I don't know if you have played it. But my number 31 is a Civilization themed game, and that's what caused it so much trouble at the very beginning because
Memoir
it is not
44.
a Civilization game. It is a Civilization themed game. My number 31 is Tapestry.
Tapestry.
Oh, no, it's not on my list.
Yeah, but you've played it.
I've played it once or twice a
Okay.
long time ago with Tom. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. I adore Tapestry. I love the different factions. I love the card play. I love moving up the tracks. I love the fact that everything that you're doing is kind of a building up process. You're improving, you're progressing. That's where the theme, I think, which again is a little controversial because when you say Civ game, there are certain preconceived notions that understandably are there that this doesn't fulfill. But the theme-wise, it does let you feel like you're building something. You are progressing along these tracks. Sure, there are many thematic disconnects that you can make. You can, discover the phone before something that came way before it. Whatever. That doesn't bother me. I just enjoy the process of kind of building up my faction, utilizing their abilities to their best thing. What I tend to like about this designer's games, Stegmaier Games, is that they're oftentimes efficiency puzzles, and I think that there is a strong element of efficiently using your cards, knowing the timing elements where you can be in a different place than another player at the table. I kind of like those types of games. Everdell is another one where you can be in a different phase than somebody else at the table at any particular time. Just a really solid game, and especially the newest expansion, the Arts and Architecture expansion, is even better. It adds another track. Such a good game. If you are freaked out about balance, then go far in the other direction because yes, they've had to make many balance issues or many balance adjustments. I don't care. I like the game.
Well, there's a lot of things. When it comes to balance that they often don't bother me if I haven't noticed them.
Yeah.
I noticed them in Tapestry.
I noticed a couple of them.
There's a lot of times where I played a game and someone's like, "Oh, this is unbalanced," and you got to do plus like a good patchwork. Remember, they rebalanced the tiles in patchwork,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess they were imbalanced." I did not know.
Yeah, and I would say, quite honestly, most of the adjustments they've made are pretty minor. Start with an extra resource. I'm never going to notice that.
Sure.
The one, start with 40 points. Of course, that probably could have been caught. But anyway, my number 31, Tapestry. I think it's great.
Thank you, Martin and Torsten, for the super chats. Woo!
My number 31 has been on my list about 3 times now, 4 years. It was 17. The first year I had it on my list was 2018, and it debuted at 17. And it slipped a little bit, but it's still on here at 31. It's a game I very much enjoy. A cooperative game, a la Pandemic type of game. You have a few actions, you have a role, you are trying to do something. In this one, not save the world, nothing that grandiose. You are simply trying to escape. The game is not
Escape.
It's Subterra.
Oh.
In Subterra.
This is a sad one to talk about right now.
It is, unfortunately, it is. But I really do like this one. I think it's a great thematic, fun game. You're exploring these tiles, traversing caverns, avoiding these creatures in the darkness down there, trying to make your way to an exit that you don't know where it is yet. Well, you do know. It's the bottom tile of a stack, but you don't know where it's going to pop up, And everybody's trying to get there. Along the way, you have cave-ins, and you have pools of water you need to traverse, and all sorts of things that try to impede your progress. Really enjoyed, very tense. Again, that kind of co-op tends to be my favorite kind of co-op. The kind that, I don't know how else to describe it, the kind that I could run 2 characters very easily. That kind. The kind that's like enough to make you feel like you're doing your own, like you have your own power and you're adding to the team, but not so much overhead that if I considered running 2 characters, I'd be like, oh, no way, I can't do this,
Yeah.
This one's light. It's like Pandemic, that kind of complexity.
Got it.
So I really, really like this
Well,
one.
people ask why it's sad because I don't think Subterra 2 is ever coming out.
Yeah,
It's not looking good from the Kickstarter.
There are some
updates.
business issues going on.
Yep. Anyway, there you go.
My number 31 is brand new. This one's really brand new to the list. And Mike earlier, didn't mean to shout there. Mike earlier in his list, I don't know, a couple tens ago, put Cthulhu Wars. This game makes Cthulhu Wars look like miniatures. This game has the biggest miniatures of any game in existence. They're probably too big.
Oh, I know what you mean.
And
I haven't
that's
played this one.
Oathsworn.
I haven't played this.
Oathsworn. Man, it's a
haven't played
boss
this?
battler.
Huh?
You haven't played this?
I've never played it. I think I'm the only person in the office that hasn't played this.
You
Literally.
are I don't know if Wendy's played it, but you're definitely in you're in a minority here.
I want to. It's not for lack
So
of
Oathsworn is
interest.
broken into 2 halves of each scenario. There's I think 16 to 20 scenarios you play through.
Mm-hmm.
The first half is kind of a very strong choose-your-own adventure. There's a map. You're moving around the map. You meet people with really good writing. I mean,
Yes.
really good
Yes, it
writing
is.
and
Okay.
voice acting, actually. And just fantastic. Then the second half is a boss fight where you will take some people and fight a boss in a combat that's on the same level of complexity as, say, Gloomhaven.
Okay.
Except in this one, you get to chuck dice or draw cards, whichever one you like better. And man, I like that because what the game does is you could basically throw as many dice or draw as many cards as you want, but if you draw 2 or roll 2 blanks, you miss.
Wow. Okay.
So you got to sit there and go, oh, I want to roll a ton of dice. I can do a lot of damage, but if you make your chance of missing more. And then it has a nice card mechanism where you're playing cards on the outside of your character and they rotate around to get them back.
Okay.
Very similar to maybe another game we played earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, so I like this a ton. I think the story's fantastic. I don't know where this will stay on my list, but right now, man, I'm juiced up about this one. Oathsworn.
All right.
People's Choice. Last one for People's Choice. Whose turn is it to guess?
I don't
You know what? We're just going to go back to Mike.
Let's both of us try it.
Let's
All right, here we
go.
go.
Okay.
It's a head-to-head.
Here we go.
Garfield.
Architects.
I'm sorry. It's What is Architects of the West Kingdom?
How many Garfield games were on this top 10?
This particular
You
one?
had 2.
Architects was
They
31.
had 2 at least, right? I mean,
No,
People's
on
Choice-
my list this week, I didn't have any on this.
I feel like we've said like 4 or 5 of them.
Okay, well,
What is going on?
They had Architects of the West Kingdom as 31.
Yeah.
They had Paladins of the West Kingdom as 37, and Raiders of the North Sea as 39.
Yeah, it was the people that had them. I
That's-
didn't have any
That's
on mine.
very impressive, but it also means they're essentially the same at this point. You know, they're in the same top 10. That's
Oh, I was saying that before.
I'll say what I want.
They're
when I
all the
want.
same game.
When I want.
I'm kidding.
Architects of the
I'm
West
kidding.
Kingdom. This is the most popular of the Garfield games. I believe we are done with this particular group of games on the top list here. There are 30 games that people like better, but still, I'll take 10 of the top 40.
Right,
I'll take
I mean,
3 in the top 40, right?
No
Oh
kidding,
my
right?
gosh.
I mean,
could you imagine if you were like, yeah, they must be thrilled, absolutely thrilled with the reception their games get.
This
To be
one is
fair, they're very popular. You're right. And this is my favorite one. So I line up with people here. I haven't played them all. And the new one sounds interesting.
that's so good.
I like the sky thing and
Yeah.
the dice.
Yeah.
It is a little
I do
more
want to try
complex.
it. Yeah, but I'm not
you
I'm
do
a straight
fine.
up dummy. You know what I mean?
You do fine with it.
I
It's-
mean, just don't teach it to me too early in the morning and I should be all right.
The thing is, I don't know. I mean, they do everything well, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that their games look good. They run basically flawless crowdfunding. They make their games readily available at retail. Their rule books are good. Their iconography is good. They're at good weight usually. You know what I mean? They do a lot of things very well.
yeah, they
So,
got this down to a science.
They do.
Well, there you go, folks. That's our top 10. We're now we already started our top third.
Yes.
So we got 30 more, 10 tomorrow, 10 the next day, and 10 the next day. But that's not the only things going on. Tomorrow we got crowd surfing
Early tomorrow.
early at 10.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. And then we got this at 1 o'clock again. And then on Thursday in the morning we got
Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. And then this at 1 o'clock. And then Friday we just got this.
Just
That's
this.
the end of the top 100 games
That's
of all
10
time
to
on
1.
Friday.
And then
That's gonna be
we all go back to
fuego.
normality.
That's time to call off work so you can be here
Okay.
live with us and say, oh, I've got the top 10 flu.
You can't do that, Mike. Be like, Tom, I'm not coming
Also,
in today.
no one has
'cause,
phones like
the
this
top, The
anymore.
top 100
Love that,
flew.
yeah.
Like my old-time
I
rotary
like that.
phone.
I like that.
Hello, one ringy dingy.
No, but we still do that. If I say call me,
Yeah,
I
you still
do that.
You still do that. Now
I
kids don't, but we do. You're not going to find
What
someone
do
on
kids
TikTok
do when
going,
they want to say call me? What's the?
You don't. You're like, text me.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh, you just do this?
they're like, hit me up with a
Text
text. Snapchat. I'm already
Yeah.
naming stuff that's way obsolete, I'm sure.
But we
There's-
still use the.
Snapchat is still around,
still
I
a
think.
thing?
Yeah. With
Okay.
the TikToking and the
with the
whatnot.
TikTok
Yes.
and
The
the
kids still TikTok.
Yeah,
They still TikTok.
Yeah. Do they still MySpace?
they do
No, they
MySpace.
do not.
They AOL.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Tom
Yes.
Vasel.
I'm Mike
ICQ.
DiLisio.
I'm Zee Garcia.